What I didn't do though is I didn't find an experienced mentor who can help me become successful with these strategies. Okay, sometimes I did and sometimes I didn't. I just felt confident that I could figure things out on my own. I'm a smart guy, I can figure these things out. I had a bunch of money from a software IPO. So thinking I didn't need any help was my biggest mistake. Now, another thing gazelles have in common is that they're consistent. And we talked about that a lot. And what I mean by that is they take tiny action each day. So for as long as it takes, they take tiny action every single day and they never stop taking action. But here's the thing, even gazelles are human, right? So stepping something over long periods of time is hard for most people, even gazelles. And if you know someone who's tried to lose weight or quit smoking, you know what I'm talking about. Becoming financial free is similar. You have to do a little something every day and build new habits in order to stay consistent. And this is much easier said than done. So it helps to have people around you who support you, who encourage you, and perhaps even hold you accountable. We talked about that in the Get Connected step. Well, gazelles know this, and that's why they find the right support early on their journey. The support they look for is the kind that will keep them consistent, hold them accountable, but they also look for the kind of support when they get a live deal. Because even if you learn everything you need to know about apartment buildings, okay, each deal is going to be different. Every situation is different. You can't look in a reference book to help you with a specific situation about this foundation issue or this tenant or this property manager. You need access to someone with experience who can help you navigate the deal. So in order to stay consistent and get live deal support, gazelles join the right community and work with coaches and mentors. Now, if there's one thing I would advise my younger self, it would be to work with a mentor when I embark on any new journey that I do. Like when I became a full-time entrepreneur in 2005, I read a ton of books, 10 seminars. I learned about trading stock options, investing in residential commercial real estate, and then of course about how starting a business. And what I didn't do though is I didn't find an experienced mentor who can help me become successful with these strategies. Okay, sometimes I did and sometimes I didn't. I just felt confident that I could figure things out on my own. I'm a smart guy, I can figure these things out. I had a bunch of money from a software IPO. So thinking I didn't need any help was my biggest mistake. Had I had a mentor, for example, when I got into the restaurant business, he would have advised me to ask questions that I never would have asked. For example, instead of just checking the references that I got from the franchisor, okay, those are all the top franchises who are crushing it, I should have asked to see the numbers from the average franchisee. Because had I done this, okay, I would have discovered that they weren't very profitable at all. They weren't having a good time. And this one piece of advice from a mentor would have slowed my decision to join the franchise. I wouldn't have done it at all. I would have chosen a different one. And the other one is not having, and this thing really cost me my IPO millions. That one mistake. Now, on the other hand, when I flipped houses, I had a mentor and I got 2 deals off my first postcard campaign. On the other hand, when I got into apartment building in 2011, I didn't have a mentor either. I had taken a real estate seminar in 2007. Okay, spent 9 months calling on brokers, cutting on my deal, cutting my teeth on it, but I didn't have someone who helped me with a very difficult situation in getting into that market. The building was in DC, which was very pro-tenant, and a mentor would have advised me not to go into DC. Well, why not? They would have explained how difficult it is to make money as a landlord in the District of Columbia, right? He would have advised me to get a property manager that specialized in Section 8 housing, which I didn't do, and that created 18 months of misery for me. So again, mentors are key, and my number one mistake I made is that I didn't need any help. And so gazelles know this, and they surround themselves with the people, specifically mentors, who can help them get ahead and avoid some of the big mistakes. Freedom Accelerator number 3, join the right network. Let me tell you the story about Andy Vaughn. He wanted to get started with apartment building investing, but he kind of had a big problem. The thought of spending even 10 minutes staring at a spreadsheet was like hell to him, right? Not his fault, he's just not a numbers guy, not his strength. Right? His strength, he's a relationship guy. He knew how to network. He loved talking to new people. He loves playing golf. So as a result, he was very good at raising money because it was natural for him. And he had no trouble finding people to back his investments. But he did have the one problem, and that's he didn't have a deal to invest in. So what's he going to do? Well, he got connected with the right network, which the case was ours. And so we helped him connect with Seth Robinson, another student. Seth had found a great deal, but he couldn't raise all the money for it. He's kind of his complement. He was more of a deal finder, more analytical, not so much into raising capital funds. So we put them together, and they successfully partnered on a 36 unit and raised $210,000. In the next 14 months, Andy completed 4 successful deals, all partnerships, joint ventures, in which he raised $760,000, and he loved it. But without a partnership, he probably wouldn't have done a single deal. Joint ventures like this are very common because they they attract two different but complementary roles in a syndication. The role number one is the deal finder. Okay, this person, they find the deals by calling on brokers, analyze deals, making offers. This person loves spreadsheets, likes me. Now, they might not love talking to brokers. That kind of scares them, but becomes easier because they're talking about numbers, which is a strength of theirs. So it becomes easier and easier. They're detail-oriented, therefore they're going to be great at doing due diligence where attention to detail matters. So many deal finders have backgrounds in engineering or finance. Role number two is the capital raiser, and they're primarily responsible for raising money. So as a relationship person with a gift of gab, talking to strangers at networking events kind of comes naturally to them. They have a story for every situation. They make it easy for people to like them. And capital raisers tend to have some kind of sales background. As a result, they know how to close. They have a strong work ethic. They understand that sales is a numbers game that requires consistency. And so gazelles understand the power of partnerships, and they leverage that to close bigger deals faster. And this allows them to focus on their strengths, either finding deals or raising capital while partnering with someone who complements them. So the lesson is leverage these three freedom accelerators to become financially free in as little as 6 months. I mean, gazelles, that's what they do. They get their first deal under contract in about 6 months. The average purchase price is $4 million because they leverage these three freedom accelerators. The size of that first deal is often big enough for them to become financially free and focus full-time on growing their portfolios. Here's what I mean, right? So acquisition fee is typically 3% of the purchase price. So a $4 million deal means that the acquisition fee is $120,000. So if they have a partner, they're going to split $120,000. It gives them $60,000 each. If their monthly living expenses are, say, $10,000 per month, this gives them a 6-month runway. Now, maybe they have some extra savings to extend that runway to 12 months. And in addition to having the runway, they often have a second or third deal in their pipeline that's likely to close in the next few months, law of the first deal. And that gives them the confidence to leave their W-2 job or their practice and focus full-time on investing. So the lesson is learn from the gazelles and leverage the three freedom accelerators. Follow a proven system, don't reinvent the wheel, get the right support, ask for help, surround yourself with people who can help you in the right way, and then join the right network so that you have access to capital and deals. And if you do that, then closing your first deal could make you financially free in as little as 6 months. All right, let's put it all together. Now imagine a quarterback calling for the next play in the huddle, describing exactly where everyone should go and what they should do. You know, the team's fired up, they break on 3 and then head back to their bench. Well, that's not how I want this ebook to end for you, okay? I mean, if you're excited, you're ready to go and then you do nothing, what's the point of that? And I already told you that 90% of people who read a book or attend a seminar never do anything. And I can't let that happen to you. So I want to summarize what you learned very quickly, and I'm going to share with you my recommended 90-day plan and leave you with a cool life hack that will let you accomplish any major goal you want to do. So if there's one thing I want you to remember in this training, okay, it's this thing. And that is the one thing for achieving financial freedom with real estate is to focus on your first multifamily deal. If I can boil financial freedom down to just one thing, it's your first deal. Focus all your efforts on getting your first deal done because I already know that the second and third deal will follow automatically because of the law of the first deal, which says the first multifamily deal of any size results in financial freedom within 1 to 3 years. You also know the 3 truths about apartment building investing. You don't need experience. We talked about that. You don't need your own money. And you only need one deal because of the law of the first deal. We talked about the 7 steps of the deal maker blueprint of financial freedom. Clarify your vision, get clear on that, get connected to a community, get the skills, get your education, work the system, practice in a safe environment, then build your pipeline. Consistency is key. Then you will, step number 6, close your deal. And step number 7, achieve financial freedom all by itself. So if you want to become financially free in as little as 6 months, then do what gazelles do and leverage the 3 freedom accelerators, which is to follow the right system, get the right support, and join the right network. So I hope by now you can see how to get started with apartment buildings today, right now, even if you don't have any previous experience or your own cash, because you now know which skills to focus on and you have the step-by-step roadmap to follow. And I hope you understand by now the power of investing in apartment buildings as the only way to become financially free with real estate. And now your mission becomes very simple. Focus like a laser on your first deal. Now let's leave you with an actionable plan. I'm an actionable guy, former software engineer. Next 90 days, here's what I want you to do to keep the momentum from this training and to get you from the huddle into the playing field.